February, 3 letters were brought to the attention of the FBI. 3 pleasant letters, typewritten in English. 3 innocent letters intercepted on their way to Switzerland. 3 friendly letters containing, among other bits of information, a report and description of the newest battleship launched by our Navy. At 2:30 p.m. on the 5th of May, Willie Sebring left his house, walked to the corner, and waited for a bus. He never caught that bus because 2 special agents of the FBI came up, identified themselves, and asked him to go with them to their New York office to answer some questions. At 3:15 that afternoon, he sat in Conference Room C on the 6th floor of the FBI office in New York.
The incidents used in tonight's broadcast are taken from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The music for tonight's performance was under the direction of Van Cleve. The author was Lawrence MacArthur, and your narrator was Frank Lovejoy.
Welcome to Reimagined Radio, a program about sound-based storytelling. With each episode, we explore how dialogue, sound effects, and music can engage your listening imagination and promote storytelling. Here to tell you about this episode is John Barber, producer and host.
Hello, everyone. This is our Frank Lovejoy Tribute. Frank Lovejoy is not well known today, despite his appearances in many radio programs from the 1930s to the 1950s. With this tribute, we sample from 4 programs in which Frank Lovejoy had continuing or starring roles. This is Your FBI, The Blue Beetle, Murder and Mr. Malone, and Night Beat. We hope to elevate awareness of Frank Lovejoy and his many contributions to radio storytelling. For more information and the episode script, visit our website, reimaginedradio.fm. Thank you for listening as Reimagined Radio presents Frank Lovejoy Tribute. Frank Lovejoy's distinct voice and acting skills were heard on several pioneering radio serials during the 1930s, as well as several of radio's top dramas and anthologies during the 1940s and the 1950s. For example, we heard him earlier as the narrator of the first episode of This Is Your FBI, April 6, 1945. With The Blue Beetle, Lovejoy stepped up, from narrator to star, as police rookie Dan Garrett, who pursued criminals as a costume vigilante known only as the Blue Beetle. Let's listen to samples from the first 2 episodes of the series, May 15 and 17, 1945, to learn how Garrett becomes the Blue Beetle and how he single-handedly smashes a drug ring in the great city.
The Blue Beetle.
In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle. As the Blue Beetle, he hides behind a strange mask and a suit of impenetrable blue chain armor, flexible as silk but stronger than steel.
As our story opens, Patrolman Dan Garrett, Mike Manigan, and Charlie Storm, ace reporter of the York City Sun, are standing on the corner watching a hotel suspected of being the dope ring's headquarters.
Hey, look. Where? That shabbily dressed man there. He just came out of that side entrance and gave a cigarette to that kid standing there.
So what?
Looks like the kid gave him some money for it.
He's a dope peddler. He's selling dope cigarettes, marijuana.
Marijuana? Boy, here's where I make a pinch.
Hey, you there, I want to talk to you. Come on, Judge, big copper.
Oh, yeah?
You got to travel fast to get away from me, brother.
Hey, look. That car there. There's a machine gun.
Look out, Danny!
Later, Danny was operated upon and a machine gun bullet removed from his abdomen. For days, he hovered between life and death. Then one night, when all was quiet, a strange man slipped by the nurse and stood beside Dan's bed.
Dan Garrett. Who is it? Who's calling Dan Garrett? It is I, Dr. Franz, your friend. I've got something for you. Hello, Doc. Now listen, Danny. I want you to take this capsule. It's my secret 2X formula. My formula will save your life, restore you to health in 24 hours. It will also give you greater vitality, keener eyesight, almost superhuman mentality, and it will give you abnormal strength.
You give it to me. I've got to get out of here. There's important work to be done, and I've got to do it.
The next morning, to the surprise of everyone, Dan Garrett was completely recovered. Dan insisted on being released from the hospital and restored to duty. By mid-afternoon, he's back on his beat, fully recovered to health and strength by Dr. Franz's magic formula. Out into the night went Dan Garrett, but a changed Dan Garrett. No longer is he in the blue uniform of the city's finest. He wears blue, but it's the blue chain armor of the Blue Beetle.
The Blue Beetle! It's no use. Your bullet can't pierce this chain armor I'm wearing. It's no use to struggle. The Blue Beetle is stronger than you are. I see you recognize my little calling card. The sound of my magic ray machine and a little beetle always signifies the presence of the Blue Beetle.
Like a bloodhound on the trail, once he gets the scent, the Blue Beetle sped on his mission. And like the bloodhound, he'll never let up till he runs his quarry to earth. Through the silent night, down by the waterfront, two powerful cars are speeding along. The first car is full of men, hard-looking men, desperate men, killers all. But who is this lone occupant of the second car? Ah, yes, it is the Blue Beetle.
They're slowing down. They're turning into that warehouse. That's my gang, all right. Just the spot I was headed for. Closing the iron doors of the warehouse. I'll soon blast them up with those special bombs Dr. Franz made for me. All right, you mugs, don't close that door. I'll blow you all to kingdom come.
That's a beetle. What you got in his hand?
That's a bomb.
So what? Really?
Buddy, go ahead and shoot. Your bullets can't hurt the Blue Beetle. What did I tell you? Now it's my turn. Here goes your door. Here I come. You better drop your guns or I'll let you have another bomb.
Okay, Blue Beetle. You win.
Now, that's a nice collection of dope you've got in these cans here. Here comes the law. Wait until the DA gets through with you. There'll be a few less criminals in this world.
You're listening to Reimagined Radio. Our episode is Frank Lovejoy Tribute. For more information, visit the episode page at our website, reimaginedradio.fm. This is John Barber, producer and host of Reimagined Radio. If you're concerned with the state of current events and news, the Fusebox Show podcast is definitely for you. Produced by Marc Rose, Milt Keynes, Jeff Pollard, and Regina Carroll, each episode features unique conversation and commentary. Here's a sample.
Fusebox. And you're, like, out of organs, right?
Oh, I'm completely sustained by a tiny alien living inside my rib cage doing all the vital work, Mr. Keynes. Catch Fusebox, the third Thursday of the month at 1:30 p.m. here on KXRW 99.1.
Learn more and subscribe to the podcast at the Fusebox Show website, thefuseboxshow.com. You're listening to Reimagined Radio. Our episode is a tribute to Frank Lovejoy, who appeared in several radio serials, dramas, and anthologies from the 1930s to the 1950s. We're sampling from those in which he had recurring or starring roles. Our next sample is taken from Murder and Mr. Malone, a crime drama in which Lovejoy stars as John J. Malone, who has a reputation as the best criminal defense lawyer in Chicago. Episodes of Murder and Mr. Malone follow a formula. The beginning introduces the characters and a crime. The middle follows Malone as he turns detective and questions everyone using any tactic short of violence. The ending is Malone's recounting of how he determined the guilty party. You'll hear this formula at work as we sample from The Paul Davis Case, an episode of Murder and Mr. Malone, May 24, 1947.
Operator, get me the office of John J. Malone.
Malone is the name. John J. Malone, attorney and counselor at law. They say one of the qualifications of a good lawyer is a sense of humor. I wouldn't know about that. For example, I never could appreciate the humor of a certain Mr. Charles Morgan. Morgan was a big-time gambler in Chicago whose practical jokes I found a little too strong for my tastes. And on this Saturday afternoon, Morgan and a beautiful blonde model named Linda Stevens were planning one of his best in a car parked in front of the Club 86 on Chicago's South Side.
Now, you understand what you're supposed to do, Linda?
Well, I'm not too sure, Mr. Marc.
Just want to make a sucker out of Davis.
Davis?
Yeah, his name's Paul Davis. He's a thin little guy with red hair and pop eyes. You won't have any trouble spotting him. He owns a joint. He'll be in the corner booth.
But suppose your friend doesn't show any interest in me.
I'm not at all worried. When Davis sees you, he'll start baying at the moon.
But at the beginning, you want me to act inside.
Right. That's so he shouldn't become suspicious. Then thaw out and let him buy you a couple of drinks.
And after that?
Well, he'd probably want to take you out for the evening. You tell him first you have to make a stop at your apartment.
I don't think I like that, Mr. Morgan.
What's there to not like? Perfectly on the up and up. When you get to your place, I'll be waiting for you.
And that's where you're going to tell Mr. Davis it's just a joke?
Yeah. I can hardly wait to see him when he learns it's a gag. Why, I'll bet he'll practically die laughing.
Well, come in.
Thanks. Hey, nice layout you got here, Linda. I think I'm going to like this.
I wouldn't bet on that, Davis.
Morgan.
Oh, then you do know each other.
You dirty little double-crosser.
Oh, no. He told me it was a joke.
Well, the joke's over now, honey, so you can beat it.
Now, see here, Mr. Morgan.
I said beat it. If you're a smart girl, you keep your trap closed. Now, go on.
Listen, Morgan.
Shut up. I don't want any conversation with you, Davis. Just want my dough. 60 grand, you owe me.
Look, Morgan, suppose I pay you a little at a time.
What do you call a little?
I can give you 10 grand now, and the balance...
Keep your hands down.
I was just going to get my wallet.
You got that dough on you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's have it.
Oh, sure. I was going to give it to you all the time. All right, Morgan, get him up.
Put away that gun, Davis.
Well, Mr. Morgan, who's the joke on now?
I guess it's me.
And you're not kidding.
That's okay, Davis. I'll see you again. Now lay your odds. Next time you won't be this lucky.
Get this, Mr. Lyons, because you'll enjoy it. After Morgan goes to all that trouble, Davis pulls a gun on him and leaves him with his tongue hanging out.
That's very amusing, Hudson. What happened after that?
Oh, Morgan started looking for him again.
What do you think will happen if he finds him this time?
The same thing, Mr. Lyons.
You don't believe Morgan will kill him?
Morgan's all talk.
You think so?
I know so. Take it from me, Mr. Lyons. It's all a bluff.
That's too bad, Hudson. It would be worth a lot of money to me if it weren't.
What have you got against Davis, anyway?
That is none of your business. Either you want the job or you don't.
Well, as long as you put it on that basis, Mr. Lyons, let me think it over.
Club 86. Good evening.
Hello, Victor. This is Mr. Davis.
Oh, yes, Mr. Davis.
I'm in a phone booth at the corner of State and 46th. Anybody been around the joint asking for me?
Several gentlemen.
What'd you tell them?
That I hadn't heard from you all day.
Oh, good, good. Is Norma there?
Who?
My wife.
No, Mrs. Davis has not been in all evening.
Well, when she gets there, tell her that... Hey, cut that out.
What's the trouble, Mr. Davis?
Some character's in a hurry to use the phone. Hold it a second, Victor, till I take care of this pest.
Yes.
Listen, you, how would you like a good punch in the nose, eh? Oh! Oh!
Well, as you probably guessed, Paul Davis never did complete that phone call. 35 minutes later, he was on a slab in the morgue, and the cops in Chicago were out looking for Charles Morgan. But apparently they weren't looking in the right places, for when I came home that afternoon, I found my door unlocked. No sooner had I opened it than I was challenged with...
That's you, Malone?
What the devil?
Shut the door.
Now listen, Morgan.
Shut it. Just keep your hands right where they are.
What are you doing here?
I'm hot. Or haven't you heard?
That still doesn't answer my question.
I don't see why not. I'm wanted for murder. You're the best lawyer in Chicago. Doesn't it add up?
Not to my liking, Morgan. You better get somebody else.
Listen, Malone. Maybe I haven't handled it right, but I didn't kill Davis.
Now, why don't you tell that to the police?
You don't think for a minute they believe me?
Suppose I told you that I don't either.
Listen, Malone, I know you don't like me, but give me credit for a little intelligence. If I was going to knock off Davis, would I shoot my mouth off all over town?
So?
I tell you I didn't kill him.
And who did?
I have no idea.
Okay, Morgan, I'll see what I can do for you, but first, I want you to surrender to the cops.
Oh, no.
And it's no deal.
Now, wait a minute, Malone. I'll make you a proposition.
I'm not interested.
Oh, for Pete's sake, give me a chance, will you? Thought a man is presumed innocent till he's found guilty. And you lawyers just say that because it sounds good.
Well, we have...
I'm convinced with any luck you can clean this up in a couple of hours. If you haven't by then, I'll give myself up.
What'll you do in the meantime?
Stay right here.
Now, what's to prevent me from walking out and calling the police?
Nothing.
Oh, you, just trust me, huh?
That's right.
Well, this is against my better judgment, Morgan. But you got yourself a lawyer.
Yes?
Mrs. Norma Davis?
That's right.
My name is John J. Malone. I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this, but I'd like to ask you some questions about your husband.
I've told the police everything I know.
I'm working on a different angle.
Come in.
Thank you.
Now, what is it you want to know?
Have you any ideas who might have killed your husband?
Yes. Charles Morgan.
I mean, besides Morgan.
No. Paul didn't have an enemy in the world.
Well, you know, that's not true, Mrs. Davis. Your husband wasn't exactly the most popular citizen in Chicago.
How dare you say that to
Well,
me?
I
won't
only
have you talk that way about him. I'm tired of these insinuations. What do you know of the kind of man Paul was?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry. Go on and get out.
Mrs. Davis,
I don't want to hear any more about it. Leave me alone.
Permit me to congratulate you, Norma. That was a marvelous performance.
Thank you, Raymond. You think I convinced Mr. Malone that I was a heartbroken widow?
How could you help it when you practically convinced me? Come here, darling. Let me console you.
Just a second.
Yeah?
I'm looking for a guy named Hudson.
Well, look no further, Mr. Morgan.
You, Hudson?
That's right.
One of my friends told me you wanted to see me.
He told you right. Care for a drink?
Yeah, I could stand one.
Yeah, help yourself. The bar's in the corner. Pour me one while you're at it.
All right.
You're in a bad spot, Morgan.
You bring me up here to tell me that?
Yeah. You see, I know who killed Paul Davis.
What?
You heard me. That one mine?
Yeah.
How you fix for cash?
What do you mean?
I got a lot of information to sell, and it's going to the highest bidder.
You mean you can clear me?
I'm not doing any more talking until I see the color of your dough.
How do I know you got merchandise?
Oh, I'll give you a sample. Did you know that Davis's wife was two-timing him?
With whom?
That's all you get for free. But you can use that kind of stuff, can't you?
Listen, Hudson, I want you to talk to Malone. Who? John Jay. He's representing me.
Are you kidding?
No. You talk to him?
Oh, sure. Providing I can make a buck.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you. Now, I'm going back to Malone's apartment. I want you to call him there in about 45 minutes. You tell him what you told me about Mrs. Davis.
Oh, no good, no good. Get the dough up first.
Now, look, Hudson, I only got $1,000 on me. I'll give you another $4 the next time I see you.
Okay, Morgan. You got yourself a deal.
Morgan? Morgan!
Oh, great.
Yes, sir?
Vincent, this is Mr. Malone. There was a man waiting in my apartment. By any chance... Never mind. Come in.
Hello, Malone.
I was just asking for you, Morgan. Where the devil have you been?
Out.
That tells me a lot. I thought you agreed to stay right here.
I know, but I had to see somebody.
Who?
Suppose you tell me what you found out first.
Well, not very much. Every lead I explored came back to you.
Did you see Mrs. Davis?
Yeah, just for a few minutes.
What'd you think of her?
She seemed all broken up over her husband's murder.
She was kidding you, Malone.
What makes you think so?
Because I've been doing a little checking up on my own. She's been holding hands with some guy who wasn't her husband.
Where did you get that from?
Private Dick, named Joe Hudson.
Oh, that lying
I don't
thief.
care what he is, Malone. He's got the evidence to clear me.
Who did he say killed Davis?
He wouldn't tell me. But I made him promise to talk to you. Should be calling you any minute.
Morgan, I wouldn't trust that guy in a stack of Bibles. What did you give him?
Give?
Yeah, a guy like Hudson doesn't talk for free. What did you promise him?
$5,000.
Well, you better save your money.
I tell you can clear me, Malone. Yeah, it's probably him now.
Hello.
That you, Malone?
Yeah, that's right, Hudson.
I take it that you've talked to Morgan.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
What I think is unimportant. Morgan tells me you can clear him.
Sure, for a price.
Oh, well, I'm not interested.
You gotta talk to him, Malone.
I don't like it, Morgan.
Neither do I, but if this guy can save
Well,
me...
make up your minds, boys.
Okay, Hudson. We'll be over in an hour. 4A, 4B.
It must be down the hall.
No, here it is. I want you to let me handle Hudson, Morgan, and keep your mouth shut.
You're the doctor. What's keeping her?
I don't know.
Maybe he went out, huh?
Oh, I doubt that.
How can you tell?
Take a peek at that keyhole.
Can't see a thing.
Yeah, because the key's still in the lock. That means Hudson's got to be in there. Hey, Hudson, open up! Hudson! All right, Morgan, give me a hand.
What are you going to do?
Break it down. Shouldn't take too much effort either. Let's go. One more should do it. Here. Hudson! Hudson! Where the devil is that light switch?
Oh, he's somewhere around the door.
Watch yourself, Morgan. Wait till I strike a match. I got it. There we are.
Malone!
Yeah.
Is he dead?
He's either that or asleep. And with that knife in his back, what do you think? 20 minutes after we found the body of Joe Hudson, Lieutenant McGraw of Cook County Homicide arrived. You should have seen his face light up when he spied Morgan. He acted like a man who was prospecting for silver and found gold.
It was a nice piece of work, Malone. A very nice piece of work. All right, Morgan, let's go.
Hold it, Lieutenant. He's not the reason I called you.
No, I know, but I'm not complaining.
Told you not to call him Malone.
I'm beginning to think you're right, Morgan. For the same nickel, I could have phoned somebody with brains.
Now, what kind of a crack's that?
Well, in case you haven't noticed, Lieutenant, there's a body lying on that sofa.
Yeah, it'll keep. But as long as you raise the point, why did you kill him, Morgan?
Are you crazy? I just got here with Malone.
Don't hand me that.
It's the truth, McGraw.
So you're going to be his alibi?
Yes, and you better listen unless you want to look like a jerk when we go to trial.
Oh, yeah.
How long would you say Hudson was dead?
Not too long. The body's still warm. Could have been anywhere from 15 minutes to 3/4 of an hour.
Well, that lets Morgan up.
But I don't see how.
Because he was with me every minute from the time I got Hudson's call to the time we broke down the door. The whole business took at least an hour.
Your word's not good enough, Malone.
Okay, if you don't believe me, you can check with the switchboard at my place and the doorman downstairs.
Yeah, I'll do just
If that's
that.
not enough, I'll dig up the hacky who drove us over.
Well, that still doesn't mean Morgan couldn't have killed Davis.
Oh, use your head, Lieutenant. You know both these murders were committed by the same party. Hudson knew who it was. That's why he was killed.
I still say it was Morgan.
Are you crazy? Hudson was going to clear me.
Keep quiet, Morgan. All right, Lieutenant. I'll advise him to confess if you can show me one thing.
What's that?
How did he get in here? You can see the only door was locked from the inside.
So what? He could have used the window.
Oh, yeah? Well, take a look.
There are bars on them.
That's right, and nobody but a midget could fit through the opening.
Then there must be another door.
Forget it. There isn't.
Well, then it was a physical impossibility for anybody to have killed Hudson.
Yet it was done.
How?
I can't tell you, but maybe I can take you to the little lady who can.
All right, now listen, Malone. If the DA ever finds out I let Morgan go, he'll have my... Wait a minute. Isn't this the house where Paul Davis lived?
That's right, Lieutenant.
Well, you can't bother his wife now.
Why not?
Because her husband was just murdered.
Oh. Well, she may surprise you with what she knows about it. Morgan told me she was being romanced by some character.
Who's that?
I don't know. Apparently neither did Davis. You asked me, McGraw. I have a...
Yes?
Hello, Mrs. Davis. Remember me?
Not too pleasantly.
Oh, may we come in?
I'm sorry, Mr. Malone. I'm busy.
This gentleman would like to ask you a couple of questions.
This gentleman means nothing in my own life.
You never can tell. He's a lieutenant in the Cook County Police.
Oh. Well, it just that the house is in such a mess.
Well, we promise not to stare.
Who was it, Norma? Norma!
I think you're being paged, baby.
It's nothing, Raymond.
For a moment, darling, I was...
Hello, Lyons.
Malone.
Lieutenant, I can explain everything.
Sure you can, but suppose we do it downtown, huh?
Downtown?
It's customary, Mrs. Davis, when the police are questioning suspects.
But we've done absolutely nothing.
Nothing but murder your husband and a man named Joe Hudson.
That's a lie.
Do you deny that you and Lyons were busy in the romance department behind your husband's back?
Yes.
And what's Lyons doing here now?
He's just helping me.
Like he helped you murder Joe Hudson?
No.
Just a moment, Mr. Malone. I thought this gentleman was the officer of the law.
Yeah, you're right, Lyons, but if you think my questions are going to be any less embarrassing, you're in for a bad shock. Joe Hudson was murdered at 10:45 tonight. Now, where were you at that time?
With Norma, here.
That's right.
Oh, now that's what I call a wonderful alibi, Lieutenant. Too bad there wasn't anyone else around to substantiate it.
Oh, but there was, Mr. Malone. A justice of the peace in Cicero. I think he may remember us.
Why should he?
Because I gave him $100 to perform the marriage ceremony that made Norma here Mrs. Lyons.
It doesn't make sense, McGraw.
Hey, will you watch where you're driving?
I tell you there's something screwy about that marriage.
You saw the license.
Doesn't it strike you as strange that within 12 hours after a husband is murdered, Mrs. Davis marries another man?
Of course it does, but there's no law against it. As an attorney, you ought to know that better than anybody else.
Yeah, but an alibi like that must have a hole in it.
Yeah, well, you show me where. And after you do that, show me how either Mrs. Davis or Lyons could have murdered Hudson. If it was a physical impossibility for Morgan to kill him, it applies to them, too.
Hold everything.
What's the matter?
Oh, what a chump I've been.
Yeah, well, they say confession's good for the soul.
I tell you, I got the answer to all of it, Lieutenant.
On the level, Malone?
Yeah, I know who killed Hudson. And with the help of Morgan, I'm going to prove it.
I don't see what you're driving at, Malone. I don't know anything about Mrs. Davis except what I told you before.
Well, how did you discover she was seeing Lyons?
I didn't know it was Lyons. All Hudson told me was with some man.
How well did you know Hudson?
I met him for the first time today. He got in touch with one of my friends and said he wanted to see me.
Oh, well, that puts us right back where we started.
Oh, look, why don't we drop the whole business, Malone?
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Sure. Cops know now I couldn't have killed Hudson.
That's where you're wrong, Morgan.
You mean they still...
No. But I do.
What are you babbling about?
I know how you managed it.
Do you?
Yeah, it was pretty clever. I can't blame myself for not seeing it sooner. No wonder you insisted I go and see Hudson.
Still waiting to hear you explain how I killed him.
I'm saving that for the cops.
Don't kid yourself, Malone. You've done all the talking you're going to.
Oh, put away that gun, Morgan. You don't think I'd be fool enough to come up here alone?
Funny, I don't see anybody around.
You're not looking in the right place. What? Get on, Malone. I'm warning you, Morgan. You better throw your gun in the middle of the room.
You want it, Lieutenant?
Watch it, Malone. He may be acting.
Well, with that hole in his forehead, Lieutenant, it doesn't call for much ability. You can drop me off at the corner, Lieutenant. Well, it's been grand.
Hold it just a minute, Malone. Aren't you forgetting something? I got a report to make.
Well, who's stopping?
You are.
Well, you know that Morgan killed David.
Oh, sure. I was the first one to say so.
You should have stuck to your gun.
Well, when you tossed in all that razzle-dazzle about Hudson's murder, you kind of threw me.
I don't feel too badly, Lieutenant. I was right with you. Of course, I'm reconstructing now, but this is what must have happened. Lyons tried to hire Hudson to bump David. Hudson said he'd think it over. When Davis was killed, Hudson knew immediately that if he didn't do it, Morgan must have.
Well, I don't see how that follows. It could have been Lyons.
Oh, no. If Lyons were willing to do the job, why did he approach Hudson in the first place? Oh, no. It had to be Morgan. When Hudson realized that, he tried to shake down Morgan. He even told Morgan if the price were right, he might be induced to frame Davis's wife. So Morgan played along with him. Asked him to get in touch with me.
Mm-hmm. Now we're coming to the part I want to hear.
Well, when Morgan went to meet Hudson, he knew it'd be the first of many such meetings unless he took steps. So he slipped a Mickey into Hudson's drink.
Well, why didn't he kill him then and there and be done with it, huh?
Well, because he needed an alibi. And I was it.
Well, I don't get it.
It's pretty simple. He needed someone with him while he murdered Hudson.
What?
Yeah. Remember you said it was a physical impossibility for anyone to get into that room and kill Hudson before Morgan and I broke down the door?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head. It was a physical impossibility. So that means Hudson was killed while I was in the room.
All right. Now, let me get this straight, Malone. You mean while you were hunting for that light switch?
Morgan was hunting for a place to plant his knife.
Wasn't he taking quite a chance there?
How? Hudson was drugged. He couldn't make an outcry. A knife doesn't make any noise at all.
Yeah. Well, that'll learn you. Now, the next time I say something, you'll listen. I told you Morgan was the killer all along, didn't I?
Yeah, well, you'll have to forgive me, Lieutenant. I've been hearing so many radio shows, I forgot it wasn't unconstitutional for a cop to be right. Let's hope this establishes some sort of a precedent.
That was the Paul Davis Case, a 1947 episode of Murder and Mr. Malone, starring Frank Lovejoy, and a part of Reimagined Radio's Frank Lovejoy Tribute. For more information, visit the episode page at our website, reimaginedradio.fm. Reimagined Radio is a program about sound-based storytelling. Each episode explores how voice, music, and sounds can engage your listening imagination and promote storytelling. Like this.
The train was coming closer. I could hear its bell, its cry, its whistle crying. Still, he stood there. Now I knew that he was beckoning me to my death.
The most important thing is to recapture the mechanical peak.
Reimagined Radio. Nothing to see, everything to hear. Heard the third Monday of every month at 1 p.m. Sundays at 6 p.m. on KXRW 99.9 FM.
More information is available at our website, reimaginedradio.fm. You're listening to Frank Lovejoy Tribute, an episode of Reimagined Radio. Frank Lovejoy appeared in many radio programs from the 1930s to the 1950s. His most noted role is that of Randy Stone, the night reporter for a Chicago newspaper. Every night, while most other people are sleeping, Lovejoy, as Stone, prowls the streets of Chicago looking for interesting characters and stories. Crime stories, tender stories, stories about everyday people, some of them in trouble, stories about races against time. This next sample is a good example. Recorded in January 1950 as an audition for Lovejoy, it wasn't broadcast until May. Let's listen to Elevator Caper, the May 8, 1950 episode of Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy.
Night Beat.
Lucky Stone is the name. I'm the guy that writes that column that's buried somewhere in the middle of your Examiner, called Night Beat. They call me Lucky for the same reason they call a fat man Slim. Because the best you can hope for on a job like this is chronic bronchitis, rings under your eyes, and the fact that you're awake when regular folk are asleep. Sometimes the worst happens to you. A story grabs your heart and shakes it until it hollers uncle. A corpse in the dark alley is the business at hand. It was early morning when I walked into the county morgue. There was that same familiar ammonia smell stinging my nostrils, that gleaming tile, that cold, empty feeling you get. The way the morgue always swipes across your face like the tail end of a nightmare. The police lieutenant was waiting for me. He nodded for the attendant to pull back the white sheet.
Well?
Yes, that's him. That's Ted Carter.
Okay, that does it. We had to get positive identification. You were the only one we could reach. Sorry I had to get you out of bed.
Oh, that's all right.
Guess that winds it up. Be seeing you. Thanks for the trouble.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
What do you mean, be seeing you and thanks? Who did it? Who killed him?
Lucky. Go into any book joint, any gin mill, look at any back alley, any flop house. Whoever you find there could have done it. Take your pick.
Take my pick?
Nobody talks. Nobody remembers anything. In my book, it's murder by person to persons unknown.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Maybe for you it's that way, but not for me, Lieutenant. I've known that guy since we were kids. I was lucky and he wasn't. I talked him into going straight, and now he's dead for it. And if I don't find out who it is, I'm going to start having some lousy dreams, Lieutenant. And I'm a guy that likes to sleep sound. When I hit the street, it was raining. The sky was gray, and there was a cold chill in the air. When a cab showed up, I went over to see Ted's girl, Joan. As soon as she opened the door, I knew she'd found out. Her face looked pinched and pale, and her eyes were red like she'd squeezed out the last tear.
Lucky, why did it have to happen like that?
I'm sorry, Joan. You didn't go down to...
No, I couldn't.
I understand. Who do you think did it?
I don't know. He told me he was all through with the rackets.
Well, what was he doing? Who'd he been mixed up with?
He never told me anything. I never asked him. I believed him when he told me he was going straight.
I'm going to find out who killed him, Joan.
Look, Lucky, you and Ted lived in different worlds. He wouldn't want you to get hurt because of him. This is for the police, Lucky.
I'm sorry, the police aren't interested.
Then why should you?
Because he followed my advice, and now he's dead. Now, who was the last guy he worked for, Joan? Who got sore when Ted decided to go straight?
I don't know, Lucky. I don't know.
I went around to the old haunts, his former friends. They didn't know. The district attorney didn't know. The cops didn't know. Ted had kicked around in this city among all these people for 28 years. And now, suddenly, it was like he'd never lived at all. Then I remembered a little item from his old life. A little item with baby blue eyes and red hair. Laverne Clare. He'd gone with her before he met Joan, and even after he'd met Joan. I know he'd kept sneaking back to Laverne like a drunk trying to decide whether to spend his last coin calling Alcoholics Anonymous or buying a glass of Muscatel. I went looking for Laverne. Now, Ted spent a lot of time telling me how crazy he was about you, Laverne.
Yeah? He was a sweet guy. Ted was all right.
He liked to tell me about the way you looked when you danced.
Yeah, sure. Look, Mr. Stone, you're a nice guy. So why don't you go back to your office and write your column about pretty things, Mr. Stone. Nice, harmless things. You don't want to get mixed up with Bailey here, with that guy Jerry.
Bailey?
I didn't say Bailey.
Oh, so it's Bailey. The character that parlays pinballs into diamond stick pins. Number rackets, Bailey. So Ted knew something in him?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. Get out of here. Right away. You understand?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm beginning to understand. So I had myself a lead. George Bailey. Only it was like going fishing with the hope that you'll be lucky enough to catch a trout, and all of a sudden, look who's eating your worm. Moby Dick, the whale. Before I told anyone else, I thought I'd go back and see Joan. I think I know who killed him, Joan.
You do?
I'm not positive, but it's a beginning.
Who?
George Bailey. Know him?
Bailey? Who told you it was Bailey?
You're getting pale, Joan, so you think it was Bailey, too.
Listen, Lucky, stay away from Bailey. He's trouble.
Yeah? I'll let you know exactly how much trouble. I'll see you later.
Lucky. It's dangerous. Please be careful.
The lieutenant told me anyone could have killed Ted. He invited me to take my pick. I'm going over and see that cop. I've taken my pick. George Bailey.
Lucky you surprised me. You really expect me to arrest George Bailey? On what charge?
He's mixed up with Ted's killing. You know it and I know it.
Outside of this Laverne girl, I got nothing to go on. You have one shred of evidence pointing to Bailey?
Arrest him on suspicion. Sweat it out of him.
Now, wouldn't I look fine against Bailey's high-powered shyster lawyers, trying to make an arrest stick because some drunken dame shot her mouth off? Even then, she'd deny it if I put her up on the witness stand.
So you don't want to touch Bailey?
Look, get me one witness who saw them together. Find me one scrap of evidence, even circumstantial evidence. I'll arrest Bailey in a minute. You won't find anything. I know. I've tried. All you'll find is frightened people and blank walls. Bailey's had this town by the throat for 10 years. No, I'm sorry, Lucky. I can't help you.
I was like a snowball somebody started rolling down a hill. I didn't know where I was going or what would happen when I got there, but I had to keep rolling. They've got a name for that. It's called a guilt complex, and I had it in Technicolor. Ted was dead because he'd believed in me. I couldn't forget that any more than I could forget my name. Then I remembered my column. Sure, why not? The little poems to the first robin, the jokes about the smog, the stories of the happy winos that have to move over. I was going to work on Bailey in the only way I knew, and keep my fingers crossed that something would happen. What big-shot racketeer sends for his aspirin every time someone mentions the back-alley murder of Ted Carter? When is the district attorney going to get wise and change the address of Mr. B from a downtown penthouse to an upstate death house?
Listen to this, boss. Stone's latest little offering. When are the police going to bring in the Carter killer?
Let me see it. If they don't know who it is, I'll give them a hint. Think of Daly and reach for the letter B.
How long's he going to get away with that?
Hand me the phone.
Sure.
Hello?
I want Lucky Stone.
You got him.
I'll say it only once, Mr. Stone. I don't like this kind of publicity.
Oh, you must be Bailey.
I'm asking you to lay off.
Real polite like, huh?
That's right. Real polite. Now, so what's the good word, Mr. Stone?
The good word? I got a whole sack full. You get a copy of the Examiner first thing tomorrow, and you'll see him right under my bylaw.
Now, listen,
It'll
Stone.
be something like this. One of the local gendarmes going to knock on Mr. Bailey's door with a warrant for his arrest. Okay, he doesn't want a preview, so let him pay 7 cents. So Bailey was beginning to squirm. Well, on him it looked just fine. I worked late on the column that night, giving Bailey enough needles to sew a circus tent. I was feeling pretty good. That guilt complex about Ted Carter wasn't hurting quite so much. I unlocked my door and stepped inside. I didn't have to shut the door. It was shut for me.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Stone.
Well, as long as you're here, make yourself at home.
You're a wisecracker, ain't you? Like your friend, Ted Carter.
What do you know about Ted Carter?
Oh, he was a regular card.
Okay, what do you want?
My boss sent me over to take a look at you.
Your boss?
Mr. Bailey.
And you're little boy Blue, huh?
Yeah, a wisecracker, all right.
Well, tell that boss of yours I'll be dropping around to see him for an interview. Huh?
He don't want it that way. He sent me to see you instead.
Yeah?
He don't like people who don't pay attention to his telephone messages. He thinks you're very nasty, yapping all the time that he had something to do with the Ted Carter killing.
So?
So, like I said, Mr. Bailey don't like it.
Okay, Buster, now get out of here.
Not right now. Mr. Bailey wants me to teach you a lesson. For this blackjack. Mr. Bailey don't like smart guys. Wisecracker.
I woke up with a nice view of my ceiling. All of a sudden, I wanted to feel a gun in my hands. I washed up, changed clothes, and found a cab. It was 11:15 when I reached Joan's apartment. I had to knock a long time before she came to the door. She was rubbing the sleep out of her eyes.
Lucky? Oh, come on in.
Thanks, honey. When Ted quit the rackets, what did he do with his gun?
He asked me to keep it. He said then I'd know he was on the up and up. Why?
I want Ted's gun.
What are you going to do with it?
Never mind. Just give me the gun.
No, Lucky. You'll only get...
The gun.
It's in the bottom drawer of the dresser. I'll get it. Think you're crazy. Here.
Thank you.
Where are you going?
Wentworth Towers. Bailey has an office there.
Lucky you are crazy. You're walking right into a trap. They'll kill you like they killed Ted.
Well, if I don't go, Jerry will be coming around again. You see, either way, it's no good. At least this way, I say when. Wish me luck.
Luck.
Oh, you fool, you poor fool. You'll end up like Ted with 5 bullet holes in your back.
When I got to the Wentworth Towers, it was almost midnight. The streets were deserted. The only sounds were distant traffic. The front door was locked, and the only light in the lobby came from the night elevator. An old man sat inside the elevator dozing. I pounded on the window. He reluctantly got to his feet and started walking toward me. He snapped the lock and pushed open the front door.
Nobody in this building now? All the offices are closed.
Not all of them, Pop. I have an appointment with Mr. Bailey.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take you in. 24th floor. Come on.
As the elevator rose, I dipped my hand in my coat pocket. The cold touch of the gun had the comforting sensation of a boy holding his father's hand. The elevator came to a stop on the 34th floor. The doors opened, and little boy Blue stepped out of the darkness. He had a gun, too, only his was in his fist.
Take us downstairs, Pop.
Sure thing, Jerry.
I want to see Bailey.
We know, but Bailey don't want to see you. And keep your hands out of your pockets. Let me see what you got there. A gun. Pretty nice. Thanks.
Don't mention it. I'm always handing out souvenirs.
You go out first, Pop, and open the street door.
All right, Jerry, I'll get it open for you.
Is everything all right, Pop? Is it all clear?
Why don't you go out there and see? Here, I'll help you. I shoved the kid out. I pushed the lever that slammed the door shut and started the elevator going up. I could see little lights blink on the instrument panel as I passed each floor. Bailey was on the 34th floor, and I was getting closer. Close. All of a sudden, the elevator stopped. I was stuck between the 11th and 12th floors. I didn't have to be a mastermind to figure out what had happened. Little boy Blue and the old man had gone to the basement and switched off the power on my elevator. They'd bring up one of the other elevators and come after me. I began to feel like an animal trapped in a cage. Then I noticed the little door on top of the elevator. I climbed up on the old man's stool. I pushed the door upward and grabbed the sides of the opening. And I started pulling myself out. And now I was standing on top of the elevator, hanging onto a greasy cable that ran down from the roof of the building. Far below, I heard the other elevator with Jerry and the old man start climbing. I leaned forward to reach the door of the 12th floor. I couldn't reach it. The other elevator was coming up fast. As I lunged forward again, their elevator stopped at the 11th floor. I was trapped good. But as long as I was between floors, they couldn't get to me either. Little boy Blue figured it that way, too.
Well, how are we going to get his elevator down here so we can get at him?
You wait here. I'll go down to the basement and get him down to the 11th with the emergency crank.
All right, but hurry.
In a couple of minutes, I could feel my elevator inching down toward the 11th floor and me going right along with it, perched on the roof.
How can he get out of here?
Jerry, look up there. The trap door's open. He's on top of the elevator.
How many floors in this building, Pop?
35. West.
I've always wanted to run an elevator. Let's see how fast we can get to the roof.
Jerry.
Shut up. Hold on to your hat, Stone.
We were rising a mile a minute. All I could do was sprawl down and watch the roof of that building coming at me. Faster and faster. The top pulleys singing around and around, louder and louder. The roof was rushing to meet me like we were lovers from way back. Faster and faster, almost to the top. Almost. The shock of the elevator smacking against the huge top springs shook me up like a bag of cement in a concrete mixer.
You must be the original Indian rubber man, Stone. Come on, climb out here.
Well, how can I refuse such a nice invitation? Especially when you're holding a gun.
Come on, back up, Pop.
Elevator. Wait a minute, will you please?
Who's that? Yeah, one of the cleaning women. Better put your gun away.
Well, this is sure a break. I thought you'd be taking a snooze.
All right. Come on, get in.
Yeah, let's all get in. It's hard to get an elevator this time of night. We rode down, the four of us. No one said anything. The cleaning woman was half dead on her feet, her head bobbing, half asleep. Oh, that lovely, innocent, tired old gal was saving my life. So long as she was with us.
I'll get out on the 3rd floor, Pop. I'm going to the dressing room.
3 it is. Here you are, number 3.
Thank you. Good night, Pop.
Good night, Pop. I get off here, too.
No, you don't. This ain't the main floor.
For me, this is the main floor.
Stone! Come back here, Stone!
I raced down the dark hall, past the cleaning woman who stared at me with her mouth wide open. In the distance, I saw what I was looking for. A little red sign that said stairway. My little pal was right after me. I got to the stairs, started down 4 at a time. He's right on my tail.
You're not getting away, Stone!
I had to get out of here fast. This party was getting rough. I reached the main floor. Instead of going through the lobby and into the street, I ducked behind the cigar counter. The kid raced by. He went out through the front door looking for me on the street outside. Right then, I started thinking of Joan.
You'll end up like Ted with 5 bullet holes in your back.
With 5 bullet holes in my back, his back. I went to the stairs again and down into the basement. I was beginning to feel those bullets tearing into my back.
You'll end up like Ted with 5 bullet holes in your back.
I didn't want to kill Bailey anymore. I only wanted to get to Joan. Joan was waiting for me when I got to her apartment. She wanted the whole story, everything that happened. When I'd finished, I watched her relax a little.
Then you didn't kill Bailey.
No, Joan, I didn't kill Bailey.
Oh. Police siren. Sounds like it's stopping in front of a house.
Yeah. They came here sooner than I expected.
Sooner than you... Lucky you've been lying to me. You did kill him. They'd come to arrest you. You lied.
I haven't lied, Joan. They haven't come to arrest me. They've come to arrest you for the murder of Ted Carter.
What are you talking about? I didn't...
Oh, but you did. You said the wrong thing tonight when I went out to get Bailey.
What do you mean?
You said I'd end up like Ted with 5 bullet holes in my back. How would you know about that? It wasn't in any of the newspaper stories. You never went to the morgue. There was no way on earth you could have known unless you killed him. They're right with you. That's the police, Joan. Any more questions?
Yes. Don't you know what it's like to love somebody? I was willing to do anything for him. Scrub his floor, wash his clothes, give him a good home, anything. But he always kept going back to Laverne. The way I loved him, do you think I could let any other woman?
All right, boys. All right, I'll let you in. I want you to know one thing, Joan. No matter what you thought, Ted really loved you. You see, Laverne represented his old world. But with you, he was going to have a new life. You remember that, will you? Okay, boys, she's all yours. Yeah, that's the story of Ted Carter. Murdered in the name of love. Okay, if that's what love does to you, I'll string along with Pinochle. I'm just feeling low tonight. Because murder is only a symptom of what we're suffering from. The disease is selfishness and jealousy and greed. Too many of us have decided that the golden rule may have been all right for Grandpa, but nowadays the fashionable thing is dog eat dog. But then I think, how can that be? How can any of us hurt or hate or even be indifferent to those around us when in this whole crazy world all any of us ever really have is each other? Well, that does it for tonight. I called Bailey, and I told him I'd made a mistake. But then he'd made him too, so it was a Mexican standoff. It's a nice job. You finish up, you yell for the copy boy, you grab for a second-hand sandwich and a tired cup of coffee, and then you start all over again. Because tomorrow you've got another night beat. You don't know where the story's coming from or where it's going to take you. But you know it's somewhere out there in the dark waiting for you. I'll tell you all about it next week.
Well, that's it. Reimagined Radio's Frank Lovejoy Tribute. It was our way of offering a tip of the microphone to a solid radio actor from the 1930s to the 1950s. We sampled from 4 radio programs of which Lovejoy was either the narrator or the star. This Is Your FBI, The Blue Beetle, Murder and Mr. Malone, and Night Beat. We hope you enjoyed listening. This episode was written and produced by John Barber. Sound design and post-production by Marc Rose. Graphic design by Holly Slocum with Evan Leyden. Social media and announcing by Ryland Eisenhower. Support comes from KXRW-FM, Vancouver, Washington, KXRY-FM, Portland, Oregon, KMWV-FM, Salem, Oregon, and the Electronic Literature Lab at Washington State University, Vancouver. Episodes are archived and streamed on demand at our website, reimaginedradio.fm. Podcasts are available from the major distribution platforms. Follow Reimagined Radio on social media, especially our YouTube channel, @Reimagined Radio. Reimagined Radio acknowledges the debt we owe to previous and contemporary radio artists, and we hope our curation and stewardship of their artifacts and efforts demonstrates our sincerity. This is John Barber, producer and host. Thank you for listening.
This is a production of Reimagined Radio. To learn more, visit our website, Reimagined Radio, all one word, no punctuation, .fm. Please join us for another episode of Reimagined Radio as we continue our exploration of sound-based storytelling.